No, in our consideration, microscopes are an optical piece of equipment, and unless you get an opportunity to demonstrate the equipment, we would consider that the person getting those tenders have no way of really ascertaining the quality of the tender or the equipment that you've been offered. And if you have lost a tender and have never been given the opportunity to demonstrate the equipment, then in our opinion the tendering system has not been worked properly, and it's a waste of our time to try and find out why they have gone and bought somebody else's equipment if they've never seen ours, because the answer is in our experience that they've never actually seen our equipment. So any answers we're likely to get, in our opinion, would not be valid. We would think, as a small company as we are, we would think that a company who have not been used to tender documents, if they look at applying for supplying 2 pieces of equipment and have to fill out 25 pages, that in itself would be a constraint as regards to filling out a tender document. Also, we would think that sometimes the documentations is worded in such a way that emphasis is given to certain criteria which don't be relevant to the equipment that you're actually tendering for. And we would think that it ought to be made much more simplified and more direct. We also have in our experience, different criteria are used by different people. Some people ask for the 25 pages to be filled out, other people do not require it. So there's no consistency in tendering, in fact, in this country. Yeah, the present public procurement rules do add unnecessary cost to what a tender would be because of the amount of paperwork involved in doing it compared to the old days when you got a straight tender and you just simply filled out the forms, because you got the tender because you had a history beforehand and people knew what your history was, and you didn't have to start off as if you were starting off on day one, and therefore it takes an awful lot of time to do the tender compared to what you used to do in the old days. And that is a cost in time for any company to have to do. Instead of taking half a day, it would take at least 5 days to do a tender at times. When we know the customer on previous occasions that we've tendered on many occasions has not purchased our equipment, and we gather they're totally committed to a particular make or brand of equipment, then we take a decision that it's not worth our while spending time putting a tender in, because we reckon that is a closed mind, and therefore we would better spend our time doing something else. For us in the public sector, it breaks into 2 different sections. In the hospitals, the quality and the after-sales service are the most important criteria on which the decisions are going to be made. While in educational establishments, quite often the price is much more significant, and therefore when you're looking at tenders, you must ascertain whether you have a product at the right price for educational establishments to get a chance of getting the order. In hospitals, it's quite different. If you have got in with your microscopes and you've got a proven record and you've got a proven after-sales services, your likelihood of success is far greater.